Good evening, listeners. I'm Caleb Schulke, the founder of Altura Society, Ascend, Daredevil, many other ventures, graduate of the United States Air Force Academy, a place of honor, which I'll be standing on tonight as I make this speech. I want to be speaking from the forefront of what I believe is the next evolution of entrepreneurship. In a world where digital innovation intersects with genuine community building and engagement, encouragement, trust in human beings, Altura stands as a beacon for those ready to transcend traditional models. We're not just another platform. We're a syndicate, a membership, tokenized-based syndicate. It's not public, and that's the point. We're empowering the top 1% of entrepreneurs and educators of tomorrow to build their wealth, to share verifiable proof of success based on trust and faith in each other and the goodwill, and own their paths inside of a decentralized, transparent ecosystem. Why do I bring this up? I'll get to that in a second. Altura offers the safest bet in the space. Liquid assets retain value while unlocking $1 million plus community that you get to control, with the key being your token you can resell as we grow our community and the value increases. And unlocking funding, premium courses, an actual mentorship instead of just blanket videos with no educational value if you don't act on them. Before we dive in, I have to have a disclaimer tonight. The views expressed in this episode are my own, based on publicly available information, reviews, and analysis from credible sources, Reddit discussions as well, YouTube exposés, TikTok investigations, major news outlets. This is not financial, this is not legal advice, nor is it intended to defame anyone. Although I will be putting statements out that are factual and can be looked up on the internet. I encourage every listener to conduct their own due diligence, verify your facts, read reviews, read our website, and consult professionals before making any decisions. If you don't think anything I'm about to tell you tonight is true, well, here's the proof. Go ahead and do your own research, and I'll be listing the sources as I go, if that helps. Entrepreneurship thrives on informed choices, and my goal here is to foster that by highlighting certain patterns and lessons from across the industry and how certain individuals fail on the promises they make. This episode is painful to me a little bit because a lot of the people I'm going to be talking about and throwing a little bit of shade at here, I've taken as a mentor. I've followed their advice, and it actually has helped me in my life, but they're not following their own word. They're taking advantage of people in a lot of ways, and we'll get to that. We're going to take a clear-eyed look at some of the most prominent figures in the online education and make money online space. Iman Gadzhi, the most notable, biggest name in our generation, Jordan Welch, TJR, and Sam Millsap. And I'm going to break down what they represent, what's working, and where it's all gone wrong. And more importantly, what they've actually done with their life versus what they tell you. And more importantly, I'll show you how Altura is building the forward-thinking alternative that prioritizes real value, verified success, and actual ownership. Let the testament of what I say tonight show the value of putting truth first, as I will always stand for. The United States Air Force's first core value is integrity first, service before self as well, and excellence in all we do. To do that, we have to be true about our actions. You guys can look up anything I've done, verify any of the work I've put in, but the first thing I want to give to you guys is the truth of what's out there. So let's start with number one, Iman Gadzhi. He's often hailed as the dropout success story, who never finished high school, never went to college, who built a multi-million-dollar agency conglomerate empire. His narrative is compelling. His Instagram is very well put together. He's the young entrepreneur who defied the system. He dropped out. He went on to make millions running digital marketing agencies. There's a lot of proof of him actually running these businesses. Through courses like Agency Navigator and Apex, priced around $1,000, I think $997 was the amount we looked up. Gadzhi promises to help ordinary people build their social media marketing agency companies, claiming that they can reach $10,000 a month in recurring income. Common promise across the industry nowadays, right? Well, not so much. Dig deeper and the story gets a little bit more complicated. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything here as well too. Evidence from multiple public sources paints a different picture, as well as conversation online. Reddit threads from the R agency that talk about famous agencies go back to 2022, as well as TikTok deep dives point to the possibility that his rags to riches journey may not have been as bootstrapped as advertised. Reports suggest that early family settlements in his family might have funded his initial lifestyle. The cars, the travel expenses that he claimed as his own, the penthouses, the watches, and the image that fueled his marketing engine. I'm not gonna lie, I've done the same thing, guys. I had the opportunity to go to an elite university that would send me traveling all the time for D1 sports, things like that. I took advantage of being able to make the most of that lifestyle, but I didn't claim that I was paying for it with business revenue like he did. A July 2024 YouTube expose by Spencer Cornelia calls his courses, quote, scam factories, recycling outdated Facebook ad strategies, that have been used for decades and no longer really are relevant, using aggressive upsells to get you into the next tier, and leaning heavily on emotional sales tactics. I know more about Iman Gadzhi's practices than anybody else because I've actually bought his course. I paid $1,200 about 9 months ago and purchased his agency accelerator package, which is no longer, I believe, listed. I think it's close, shutting down. It was good. It was full of this Netflix style documentary videos on all the major topics that would be relevant to a young man in success, but it wasn't really action filled. So I can understand the criticism coming to him online. MSN coverage labeled his programs extraction machines, literally put out there to bait you into seeing a lifestyle and blowing money on something that you can't get from just watching a video. They're targeting young men desperate for direction rather than sustainable education. That's a common problem nowadays, but Iman does not lead the example very well. Across Quora conversation and TikTok, the sentiment is very consistent in the actual conversations. Users call him a get-rich-quick seller. One ex-student put it very bluntly. He's the latest, quote, in a long line of guys profiting from young men's lack of direction. And when allegations surfaced in mid-2025, his 18-part Instagram, quote, defense series felt less like transparency and more like a last-ditch attempt at damage control. That's how you handle controversy online. The first thing is not to challenge it right away. Let it build up, and only when necessary, say something. The less you can directly confront it, as he did, the better, because a lot of times it just blows over. You're seeing that a lot in politics now, too, with very certain things that I'm not going to name in part because I can't. April 2025, YouTube critiques even uncovered that many testimonials came from unpaid interns. Iman was hiring interns to leave reviews on his courses, make it seem like he was the cream of the crop and short-term freelancers rather than actual successful agency owners. The bigger issue is it's not just one person. Everybody buys their followers. Everybody buys their likes. So I can't really say that that's just something he does too, but it's a system of personal brand-led education that put personality above proof. He would constantly, he still does this, film himself inside his sports cars, flexing the lifestyle, talking about Loro Piana, the Italian brand he buys all the time, and not focused on educating people. He hopes that the lifestyle will sell the course instead of him teaching hard business skills. Gadzhi's empire, reportedly valued from $25 to $40 million, looks less like a marketing agency and more like a course-driven ecosystem. And that's the fundamental problem I personally have with all this. Why I brought Iman up in the first place. You can't teach entrepreneurship from a pedestal. You can't especially do it when you've already made millions of dollars and the only thing you're selling is the lifestyle. I actually respect Andrew Tate a lot for this because he gets back in the trenches. He actually spars with his trainees. He's regularly posting content himself instead of relying on fancy production. He builds with people, and Iman doesn't. Iman just sells to them. And it feels like the distance between you and someone like him is ever so increasing. So why would you trust the advice if it wasn't relevant 10 years ago? And most of what he said he did wasn't real to begin with. Just a question I want to pose to you. That brings us to segment 2, one of his best partners that he put a course package together with on his platform, Educate. And that is the infamous Jordan Welch, the dropshipping dream. Segment 2. Jordan Welch has a YouTube channel who exploded through the zero to hero dropshipping success stories. His humble beginnings, right? Rags to riches story once again. Welch's platform called Viral Vault charges $67 a month for access to winning products of e-commerce items, pricing guides and store templates, promising fast profitability. The only issue is when you're selling to thousands of people, you just created instant competition on a few items by just announcing them. So it's inherently a bad idea to run. But again, the deeper you go, the more cracks appear even further. On Trustpilot and Reddit's R dropshipping feed, users describe Jordan Welch's platform as dream selling. And again, the same lifestyles painted across his YouTube. Spending time with people, showing them how to make money, over the course of a couple weeks, showing them how easy the lifestyle of being an e-commerce professional is, hanging out with people that run Shopify stores. It's dream selling. And it's not business building, which is practical skills that you learn from being in the trenches with real degrees and real business attributes. Refund windows of his courses and products are limited to 24 hours. He has unresponsive support because he wants it to go 24 hours, and poor supplier reliability dominate the feedback of his program. That's sad, Jordan. You need to fix that. A May 2025 YouTube analysis titled Ecom Accelerator, the Overpriced Fluff found that most members weren't succeeding, not because they didn't try at Jordan's course, but because his system itself was built around recycled ideas, not his genuine insights from his practical experience. In Welch's success stories, many of Jordan Welch's reviews stem from subscription revenue, not long-term e-commerce wins. As one reviewer put it, it's a business about selling the dream and riding in the Lamborghini, not about selling an actual product in a real store using verified methods in the world we live in today with TikTok, Pixel, Facebook, Meta, Business Manager, navigating all the complex systems that we have, and more focused on how do you find a winning product, which doesn't help you in the day-to-day. You need more tactical advice than that. So this is the recurring pattern you see, the promised child archetype, a viral personality telling you that wealth is just one click away, when in reality, it's a long-term grind requiring systems, team, and data. Dropshipping works for a few, and I've tried it myself. I obviously built Daredevil initially as dropshipping as my clothing brand. I never made a crazy amount of money selling it to the investor, but I did exit with a successful sale on the back end. But it's hard. I had to actually build my own products to become profitable. I wasn't going to do it just slapping logos on things and claiming them as my own. The dropshipping industry is basically dead when you look at massive distribution companies like Amazon or even eBay still. Places like that, Wayfair. So again, this isn't about Jordan personally. So Jordan, there are things to fix and you need to listen to your audience better. But it's about a structure that you run that rewards marketing louder than results. Speaking about results and speaking about proof and just content and hype, that brings us to segment 3, probably the most notable viral recent influencer in the space, TJR. If you haven't heard of TJR Trades, he is the signal seller. He's the guru when it comes to stock trading and options. TJR is the trading guru with claims of multimillionaire status and transparent wins. Posting proof, right? On the surface, it's inspiring. He does his daily live streams just like me, mentorship and charts filled with green candles. Of course, it's easy to find those screenshots online. But when you look behind the curtain, when you actually strip the data, when you do the analysis on what he's actually posting, and what the results of his students are saying, forums and finance communities tell a completely different story. Quora threads from May 2025 ask a simple question. If trading is so damn profitable, why sell signals? Why make a course? In fact, right, that begs the kind of paradox. The people that are making the most money out there, why would they run a course? Because they're making so much money doing what they do, it doesn't pay, which is why Masterclass is a great program. Altura is a great program because we go find those people that are in the field that don't have courses and we invite them into the space when they wouldn't have done it otherwise. But the people making money off courses are not the people you trust because their whole business model is about selling you and not teaching you. TikTok investigations highlight cherry-picked wins. Of course, you take the best results, you throw the 99% away of losses, you hide losses, you manipulate screenshots through editing software, and you avoid long-term verified results. YouTube breakdowns from April 2025 place him squarely in the hype trader category. TJR profits from mentorships, which he costs $5,000 to his audience, and not markets. He has a whole team, a whole meta ad strategy taught on selling his $5,000 course package, which is how he really makes his money, not trading, which is how he bought his Koenigsegg, all of the different supercars, the Ferrari Pista, a 488. And Reddit's Our Fake Guru community subreddit uncovered a web of affiliate systems where earnings depend on recruiting others into that program rather than acquiring a trading skill. He's also notorious on WAP, which is a platform I use to pay independent content creators to clip these live streams and put them out. You guys can make money clipping this actual podcast, but he is notorious as one of the highest spenders for just paying influencers to repost his stuff and not actually learn from his trading strategies. Paying people to leave comments on his posts, he buys his credibility. And again, this isn't to attack individuals, it's to reveal this pattern that's going on. I don't want you guys to be fooled. There's this recurring model of not knowledge, but dependency. Because when you try applying the knowledge they're giving you and it doesn't work, you have to look for what's next. And that keeps you glued to them. And they know this. So they'll keep feeding you bullshit that doesn't work until eventually you spend so much money, you say, that's enough, I'm gonna give up on this idea. And you blame the industry and not the creator that's pitching horse shit to you. That's what Altura exists to replace. And speaking of funneling crap down your mouth, that brings us to the final segment. One of the biggest influencers that may or may not be known by you, but Mr. Buzzcut, Sam Millsap, the fitness funnel. This is a crazy one. I want to talk about Sam Millsap. He is the homeless to Huracan Lamborghini transformation coach. I think he lives in Dallas. So actually, shout out to Dallas. I was just there last weekend. He exploded onto the scene as a motivational figure turned entrepreneur, right? He was posting gym. He was very depressed, got in the gym, got swole, and then sold fitness coaching, right? He sold his coaching and mentorship programs tied to fitness and then eventually transforming your life and creating wealth out of that. But recent months have exposed some serious ethical issues, and he's literally been challenging controversy today. I saw a video on my Instagram of him addressing the fact that he doesn't pay his salespeople. TikTok threads from July 2025 show much of his earnings come from rebranded. I'm going to repeat this. TikTok threads from July 2025, 3 months ago, trace much of Sam Millsap's earnings to rebranded OnlyFans content. You heard me right. OnlyFans content. Sold as high-performance mentorship. Former affiliates claim unpaid commissions totaling over $65,000. And as of his September 2025 content has shifted from motivation to what ex-staff describe as damage control. When you get to the point where you're stumbling backwards, when too many people like me come out and have to accuse you because it's so blatant that you're just not fulfilling what you say you are, and when you post Lamborghinis to cover it up, that might help the few people that are so ignorant not to look at your actual credibility. But the real people that do their research will call you out day in and day out. And that's what I'm doing. Again, I'm going to read the sentence one more time because it's just so crazy to me. Sam Millsap, scam Millsap. July 2025, TikTok threads trace much of his earnings to rebranded OnlyFans content sold as high-performance mentorship. That's just unacceptable. R/anti-MLM, multi-level marketing or pyramid scheme communities described his program as a, quote, recruitment funnel in disguise, where you have to sell to the next guy and they have to bring money in constantly and he makes all the money. He's basically doing a pyramid scheme. And most participants pay more than they've ever earned. That's why he's making millions of dollars selling a couple $1,000 course, and he can buy multi-million-dollar, inventories of vehicles, which just doesn't make sense accounting wise, unless he's recruiting a sales network. April 2025 disclosures reveal funnel deceptions and refund blocking tactics. Meaning, if you have a problem and you go to your salesperson and the salesperson themselves has a problem, they go to Sam, he says, F you, like, I think you're just pulling my leg and I'm going to pull up whatever reason out of my ass to claim that I don't have to pay you your money. He's blocking refunds because he's claiming that, orders were fraudulent or that you didn't actually use the program. Well, his Instagram remains heavy on his luxury optics, his Lamborghinis that he has parked outside. He had to sell his SVJ Lamborghini because he got called out and lost revenue, and so he had to pay his bills, but very light on accountability. So again, Sam Millsap, scam Millsap, these patterns, right, they're not just unique to you, and I'm not just calling you out. I just talked about Iman. Go ahead and watch the live stream back if you're new here, I see people hopping in here. Jordan Welch, we called him out. We called out TJR. These patterns aren't unique to one person. They reflect a much larger ecosystem where appearance outweighs integrity. Integrity first, the Air Force's primary core value, and what this ring, the institution that gave me this ring, actually. Each of these figures built visibly. They came from nothing, right? Which means they didn't have an institution like I did that backed me, that I have to uphold a reputation against, that I actually give a shit against. They had nothing, and so they could say, I'll scam people all day. I'll fake my reputation and say I have whatever I have. Iman sells luxury when most of the time, right, his testimonials are fake content. At this point, he's selling the lifestyle more than the actual assistance. And it pisses me off, frankly. It's not verifiable results. And that's why Altura that's really the only evolution that makes sense now. So I want to zoom out real quick because I'm getting too heated. I've talked about the biggest names out there. If you guys don't see what I just said, I just gave you the research. So this will be posted officially and edited on YouTube, but just stay with me here. The core problem across this e-commerce, sales, info products, anything, money, multi-level marketing industry is simple. Make money online industry. Information's abundant, and most people want information. They don't really give a shit about whether or not you're actually getting in the trenches with them. And that's great until enough people call it out. Proof is scarce, and proof runs very scarce in an industry that you only need to rent a Lamborghini to sell courses. The guru economy rewards loud personalities, not legitimate builders that are in the trenches pulling up verifiable information and coming from credible backgrounds. Altura changes that through structure, verification, and most importantly, we don't even own the actual money from this. You guys do, and you control where the money goes. I'm going to show you guys how. First is resellable NFT memberships. So again, NFTs, right? The scam, and other scammy industry, right? I don't like it either, trust me. But the only thing we can verify in 2025 is a blockchain. You can go look up on the internet and say, what time did my wallet send something to somebody else? That is literally proof as valid as you can get. That's the same as me posting my bank statements. Instead of paying $1,000 for a course, though, what we did in our revolutionary model is you buy a lifetime access pass. So basically what you'd pay $1,200 like I did for Iman's course, you would instead pay $200 to $300 and get one of our tokens, which then you come into our community, you get the following benefits I'm about to lay out for you. And then at the end of the day, if you want to leave the community, you resell it. And the whole time we're using the money to build the community, which increases our value and increases our presence. And when the tokens are limited in supply, because we only have 8,000 of them, other people are going to want your seat. So they're going to be buying your membership off you when it's time to leave. And you get your money back, most likely, plus, as long as we're building, a return on top of that. So you don't actually lose the money. You don't get scammed because there's no decrease in your money, as long as we're doing our job properly, 99% of the time. Each educator must verify results. And we're going to recruit for Altura Academy, which is the equivalent of Educate, which is Iman's platform, but we're not scamming you. And we're actually bringing in people that have real results instead of just big personalities with loud voices. Testimonials, screenshots, revenue before they ever teach. We're going to look for loud names that purposely haven't put out courses yet and recruit them to teach because they're the most credible, because they're not trying to sell to make money. They make money doing what they actually do. And that's the only way that's the only people you should be learning from. I built Altura. Altura is how I make money. I don't make money teaching a course on how to build a platform like Altura, right? Because then why would I be credible? My money comes from the actual platform. It comes from our educational program, Changing Lives, me recruiting people into the actual system. The money we make by investing in you guys, and I'm going to explain that right here. When you guys buy the tokens, or let's just say we generate revenue for if you don't want to buy the membership pass and you just want to pay a subscription, that money goes into a community pool. It's funds that are just thrown into our public verified crypto account. You guys can look up how much money Altura has in real time. So we can't be scamming you because our bank statements are public. We're going to raise over $1 million in community funds. And then you guys, if you own a token, one of the 8,888 tokens, count that as one vote. So you get 1 out of 8,888 votes that decide where the community goes next. I'm going to post questions saying, whose business should we fund this week? We're going to have all of you guys that want funding for your companies come live. And if you have a startup, right, that we teach you how to get into AI agency services, right, like AI copywriting, AI marketing for companies, amongst a million other different types of, industries that already exist, e-commerce, sales, the things that these gurus are teaching. And you guys actually have a profitable business model, you can come hop on a live stream like this, talk to a couple thousand people. And if they decide that you're worth investing in, they're going to use their votes to allocate funds from that wallet to you. And you can use $10,000, $50,000, whatever they want to decide to use to start your company. And you don't have to go apply for a business card, build business credit, do the Dun & Bradstreet number, the LLC registration, all the annoying stuff I had to do. I'm giving that to you guys as a gift. And then, at the end of the day, it's an investment in your company. So when you make money, the revenue we get from that goes back into the community fund. It goes back to you guys, which makes people on the outside want your token more, which drives the value up because of supply and demand. And you guys can see how you pay to get the education, the benefits. And at the end of the day, there's a wait list of people, if we do our job right, waiting and begging you to have your seat. And that's worth money. We're not just keeping it and saying, screw you. Thanks for your money. I'm going to go buy a Porsche like Iman does. And he sells the lifestyle when he doesn't actually give monetary value back to people. Next, we have this learning hub, like we said, that's teaching the different skills to get you ready for that funding and incubation side of it. But the whole time, when we invest in your company, let's say you offer an AI software tool that you just built. I'll teach you how to build an AI tool that can run your accounting software for you for your company. If you guys charge $30 a month for that, maybe Altura, being a 20% owner in your company, can use your subscription and give it to every other member that holds a token for free, like a credit card benefit, right? I have the American Express Platinum card, and that gives me into, like Clear, for example. If you guys have ever been to an airport, the devices that you have to scan your eyeball to get through TSA instead of going through the long wait list or pre-check. Those Clear devices, it costs, I think, $190 a year to subscribe to have that service. American Express waives the cost of that. So they actually charge $190 to my card. And Amex says, oh, there's the charge. We're going to throw it away because we're covering that on your behalf. That's how Altura will work with Adobe products, maybe Microsoft Office, maybe Google Workspace, maybe Opus Clip, maybe Premiere Pro, maybe subscriptions to the largest tools out there you're probably already paying out of pocket for, that we can get enterprise plans for, or you guys can actually develop businesses for it to cover. And then we all win. It's provided to the people that actually hold the tokens as members and not just people paying subscriptions. And then finally, in real life integration, not just getting on a Zoom call and recording a testimonial I can use to bait other people into my program, Sam Millsap. Iman Gadzhi, Jordan Welch, TJR, but we're actually meeting in the real world. We're going to vote. I already actually have polls out in the community. You guys, if you go into Altura Society and register, you can see the questions we have out. And if you're a holder, you can apply your votes today. We're asking, where do we want our first meetup to be? So if you guys are in Miami or Austin, Texas, or New York or Denver or Phoenix or whatever it's going to be that we vote on, maybe Green Bay, Wisconsin, shout out to my hometown, you guys can come in person to these events, meet me face to face, see that I'm not trying to scam you. I have a lot of value to offer in real life. And we actually do global summits monthly. That's my plan. I want to do that for you guys instead of just selling a course pack and saying, screw you. That doesn't make sense. I've already built tools. I've already made this public. So I can confidently call out gurus that are just faking shit, that are just post. I saw a clip of Iman with like 3 of his bodyguards carrying his like luxury designer shopping bags instead of a video of him teaching a skill. And I'm like, what has this brand become? It's all about lifestyle now and not actually about his educational content. And so I want to provide value first. I've already built an AI tool that's free to use, that's inside of Altura Syndicate. You guys, it's called a Vision, I believe, Vision tool. And it asks you questions, and AI will actually tailor your long-term vision, your kind of 3 to 6 month goals, and then your day-to-day to do taskers that you guys can use to stay focused on your business. I just built that tool for you guys. It's using AI, and I'm not going to charge you anything. It's just a gift to you guys who sign up for the platform. And so if that sounds good, I want to keep proving how much we put value before, just faking results. We're building something for entrepreneurs that are just tired of manipulation, me personally, for builders who want a verified network, not another promise, right? A place to actually meet people, communicate with people you can come together with and start a company based on the skills you learned. And then in the same exact software tool or platform that we host, maybe even in real life when we go to meetups, pitch other people in Altura, and they'll vote on whether or not they want to give you money to take that idea and turn it into something in real life. And you wouldn't have gotten that idea unless you risked a lot of credit, personal expenses, trying to back a loan, and not trusting investment from the people around you that see your vision. That's how it always should be. You shouldn't have to be rich to start out or have an amazing credit score or have, 6 months of expenses on a business card to build up the opportunity to get money to build from the ground up if you actually genuinely have a good idea. I hate that. I never liked that. And so that's why I stand behind this vision, why I put all this work in, and why you guys can go on alturasociety.com and see the exact roadmap of all of this laid out right in front of you. So as you think about your next move, remember this, and we're wrapping up. You can chase hype. You can continue following Iman Gadzhi, Jordan Welch, TJR. You can watch the funny videos of him doing God knows what, pretending to be funny, right? Challenging these fucking OnlyFans creators to do content wars together when they're actually just distracting you from the fact that their courses are half-assed pieces of shit that they rely on expensive price tags and celebrity status instead of real-world application and skills that we're doing. And you can follow the personalities, or you can join actual verified networks that give you your money back, most likely on the back end, that protect your capital and let you learn the whole time and let us use that in the short term to build for you. Because I get the same benefit out of that. I hold the membership tokens too. I want to see the value of those go up as we grow our wait list, as we build publicity and traffic inside of our platform. That helps me out too. So I'm in the same game you guys are. Altura isn't theory. It's out there. It's an actual website. You can go to alturasociety.com, watch the video of me sitting in the exact same room talking about the idea, look through the content, read our white paper, and see that it's actual developed infrastructure. It's not TJR slapping $5,000 on a course because he has a million followers, and that somehow gives them the right to charge a few $1,000s for bullshit I could look up on ChatGPT. It's a movement. Altura is a movement designed to empower the next generation of people who are tired of wasting money on stupid stuff. When ChatGPT doesn't get you there and you want real world help, and you want to join a breakout room or go to one of our online meetup sessions where I'll be there personally to answer your questions as we're building this out. I literally have a link on Altura Society that if you guys have questions, if you want to know how this works in the day-to-day, literally have a booking link where I will just meet with you on a Google Meet call. It's not even, you don't even have to show your face. It's just like a voice call. And I'll meet with you right now. You could even book it tonight. And I'll talk to you about how this works. I'll answer your questions and help you see how much different we are from this. I don't even want to be lumped into the same category, which is why I'm making it such a big point to call these creators out for their bullshit. Because I believe in integrity first. And I hope you guys do too. Empowering you guys to do something with your life and actually walking you through the steps of that. Not just saying, here's the roadmap, have fun executing that and figuring out how to type in, setting up an LLC and finding a registered agent, doing all the stuff that you really should never have had to do from the start. Go to alturasociety.com. That's my final call to action. This is going to be public. It's going to be clipped, posted. You're going to see this live stream I just did all over the internet. Connect your wallet, mint your passes, because right now it's literally, I think, $40 to get a lifetime membership, which can get you an invitation to New York, Toronto, LA, Dubai, London, Denver, Colorado, Arizona, Houston, all of the meetups we're going to do in the real life, courses from the biggest upcoming creators in the space, even bigger than Iman's platform, which would, at equivalent value sell for $1,200. You're paying $40 for because you're early and it's a pre-sale. Gives you access to software and subscriptions to run your business that you're probably paying for. How many of you guys are paying for ChatGPT Premium? If you're paying for ChatGPT, then you can buy our membership, and in the future, we'll use our AI tools to run your business. I already have a mentor AI that's public for free on our platform, and you can cancel your ChatGPT subscription. And in 2 months, your lifetime token that will someday hopefully sell for thousands of dollars and make you money is public. And I'm literally helping you the entire time. I'm not just taking your money, throwing videos at you like Iman does and saying good luck out there. That's bullshit. And I don't believe in that. I believe that somebody should actually, if you're going to invest in them, they should pay you an unequivalent amount of money, especially early on like we are, because you're taking the risk of, even if it's $40 like it is now, instead of a couple hundred or a few $1,000s later on to buy one of our passes. Purchasing because you're putting belief in, and that belief is worth something. And I'm going to over deliver that for you guys. You can already see the infrastructure existing. I built this website and platform out in less than a week with the money we already raised on the pre-sale. That's how fast we're moving through all of this. If you don't see that, you're going to miss out. You're going to blink. And in 2 months, when our tokens are sold out, all 8,000 are sold, we have 250,000 followers. And now those 250,000 people want 8,000 tokens, and they're willing to pay $10,000 a piece for them. You guys are going to miss out on the earning potential of holding it that whole time. And also what you would have gotten being a member during that period of time too. So connect your wallet, go to our platform. You can use your debit card if you want. It's $40. It's 2 months of ChatGPT. It's 2 Chipotle bowls, which I'll probably go out and buy after this. And grab your seat. I don't want to sell you anymore because it's really not a sales pitch. But again, if you want information, there's a link on our site, and I'll quite literally talk to you on the phone after this and explain how you can literally trust it. And everything out there is public, especially our bank accounts. That should do more than prove it to you. Own your seat in the network. Start deciding where we're going to put our funds as we raise them, what we're going to do in the real world after this, and I'll see you inside. If you have questions, there's a free link to get on the phone with me. Again, there's no sales pitch though, because I'm not a scammer. With that said, thank you for your time. I wish all the best for you. And as always, I'm rooting for you. Have a great night.